When the 18-years-old Noah Kahale and his 21-year-old girlfriend Mana from Niihau, Hawaii find a washed-up small blue boat, they see it as their ticket off the small island and their chance at a better life. But this boat is actually very infamous here for all the wrong reasons. People try to warn the couple about it, but they ignore them all. Only when Noah makes a shocking discovery inside does he realize all the warnings were right. But it is too late now. Noah's blue boat Noah was absolutely fixated with the blue boat ever since he had found, and nobody was going to talk him out of using it. This was his and his girlfriend Mana's boat now, and they were going to use it however they wanted. But he should have inspected it a lot more thoroughly. Noah managed to get the boat up and running again, but in this process, he eventually encountered a hatch that he had not seen before on the boat. And when he opens it, the poor 8-year-old boy gets the absolute shock of his life. In danger. All the stories he had heard were true. He could not believe what kind of danger he had put himself in. He should have never taken this boat back out to sea, but what did Noah find behind the hatch? Why were there so many stories about this blue boat? And how could Noah have ignored all these warnings? But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. When the water had settled back down after the storm that hit the island of Niihau, Hawaii, people started to inspect the island and mainly the coastline for damages and to see if anything had washed ashore, but they never expected to find this mysterious boat. The small blue boat was actually found by Noah and Mana. The moment the storm passed, they had left their parents' houses as they could not stand being there a second longer. Done with them, and this island, the couple were just wandering the forestry coastline for hours until, between the blue of the trees and bushes, Noah spotted a strange bright blue color. It stood out like a sore thumb, so he was pretty sure that whatever this was had to have washed up with the storm. Noah quickly, but carefully approached. When he got just a bit closer, it quickly became clear to him that they were dealing with a washed-up boat. It must have come on top of a pretty big wave last night, as it had washed a pretty decent distance onto the shore, and there were some other aspects that Noah found strange about it. This boat looked like it had been left to the forces of nature for years. It's dirty and worn down to a level that could not have possibly come in one night. But where had it been that whole time then? And where had it come from now? No explanation. If it had been anywhere else on this island before it ended up here, he or Mana would have probably known about it, as they barely did anything else but wander around thinking of ways to get out of here. But Noah also doubted that it came from the mainland of Kauai. That was way too far away for this boat to make it all the way across in just one night of stormy weather. The chances of that had to be close to impossible. The only solution that Noah could think of was that this boat had just been floating around the ocean for a while. Where was the owner? But that idea gave him a chill down his spine. He had made his way to within a couple steps of the ship and stopped when he started thinking about where the owner could possibly be. Was it possible that something had happened at sea and that the owner was still on the ship? He told Mana to step back before he approached further. Peeking into the boat with shaky legs, Noah took a couple of steps toward the boat. He didn't smell anything that made him worry, so he took a deep breath and mustered up all the courage he had to be able to peek over the side of the small blue boat. Noah was extremely relieved when he didn't see a body in the boat, just a lot of equipment that was still soaking wet from the storm. Noah and Mana quickly went through it, but didn't find anything of interest. At least not yet. But finding this boat did give Noah another idea. Noah's ticket off the island. What if this little blue miracle could be their ticket off the island? If he was able to fix up this old boat and nobody would come to claim it, he and Mana could potentially use it to travel to Kauai, sell it there, and start a new life. An exciting life that they had always wanted. Noah knew just a little bit about boats, but if he really wanted to fix the motor of this thing up, he knew he needed some help from his cousin Makoa. He did this kind of thing for a living and would probably also help him determine if he could possibly call this boat his, if he should even want that in the first place. When Noah called Makoa and told him about his find, it went silent on the other side of the line. Then Makoa told him that Noah and Mana should get as far away from that blue boat as possible and not interact with it in any way. He knew about this boat all too well. A lot of horror stories. In his field of work, many stories had been circulating over the years about a small blue boat that people found and tried to fix up. But everybody who left the island on it was never seen again. But the boat apparently always came back, and in poor condition. Noah didn't care. Noah was very surprised by the reaction of his cousin, but mainly that he still believed in these so-called island scary stories. They were not 5 anymore, but it was clear that he was not going to get any help from him. Noah and Mana had to figure this out all by themselves. Noah managed to get open the motor compartment of the blue boat, and to his surprise, it all seemed to be reasonably intact. Maybe it just needed a bit of gasoline? Noah sends Mana home to already collect some stuff, and he himself quickly left to get back to the city for gasoline. But if only he had looked better, maybe then he would have been smart enough to never return to the boat. Nobody could know about this. People in his small hometown were still mostly picking up the pieces and minding their own business, which was perfect as Noah wanted nobody to know what he was getting up to. If more people had heard these horror stories about the blue boat, they might try and stop him from returning. Coming up with a plan, there was only one gas station in the city, and that was a problem as the owner knew everybody in the small town, and thus was also aware that Noah's family didn't have a car, boat, or anything that needed gas. So he would sure as hell ask a couple questions if Noah came to buy a couple gallons from him. Eventually, he managed to convince the owner that he was getting them for his cousin Makoa, but Noah knew that this also put a bit of a timer on his endeavor. If Makoa would find out about this, he would know he was still working on the blue boat, and then there would be hell to pay. Nobody else had found the boat yet. When Noah eventually managed to get the fuel back to the blue boat, he was pleased to see that nobody else had found it yet. Mana was also not back yet. It was still as eerily quiet and peaceful as he had left the scene. But approaching the boat again, Noah felt the same pit in his stomach like the first time, getting over his worries. But he tries to push his worries to the side, as he did not want to admit to himself that Makoa's words had gotten in his head, and he knew he had to push through to punch his only ticket out of here. He opened up the motor again and started pouring in the gasoline. Noah poured in the last of the gasoline and pulled the starter cord with all his strength. At first, nothing. Then suddenly, the engine sputtered, coughed, and came alive with a low, unnatural rumble. The boat trembled beneath his feet. Noah grinned. We're getting off this island. But something about the sound wasn't right. Mana returned just as the engine started running. She froze when she saw the boat. Noah, we shouldn't do this, she said, her voice shaking. This doesn't feel right. But Noah shook his head. This is our chance. I'm not letting it go. Within minutes, they pushed the boat back into the ocean. The waves carried them out gently at first. The island slowly faded behind them. For a moment, it felt like freedom. Then the engine sound shifted. It grew deeper, slower, almost like a heartbeat. Noah frowned and leaned over the motor. What is that? Then, click, a sound from beneath his feet. Noah turned toward the hatch he had discovered earlier. He hesitated. Then slowly, he opened it again. This time, it wasn't empty. Inside the compartment were objects that hadn't been there before. Wet clothes, old tools, a broken radio, and a small bag. With trembling hands, Noah opened it. Inside was a wallet. He pulled out an ID card, and his heart stopped. The photo on the card was him. Same face, same clothes, same everything. No, this can't be. Mana stepped back in horror. Noah, look at the water. He slowly looked over the side of the boat. The ocean was calm. Too calm. He saw Mana's reflection clearly, but there was no reflection of himself. The engine suddenly roared louder. The boat accelerated on its own. Noah! Mana screamed, reaching for him. But his body wouldn't move. It was like he was fading, slipping away. The last thing he heard was Mana calling his name. After the storm passed, people once again walked along the shores of Niihau. And there it was, the small blue boat. Washed up again, damaged, silent, empty, just like always. But this time, there was something new inside, a small compartment, and within it, a fresh ID card, waiting for the next person to find it.